Okay, today we're going to be showing how you can achieve persistence in modifying the recovery partition, which is the seventh partition within the Roborock S6 vacuum cleaner. Okay, so what I have on the left right now is the serial console access into the Roborock vacuum cleaner on my right over here. In the middle, currently it's connected and will set up as if, it was a homeowner who's already using the device. It has a static IP address of 10.10.10.8, and this network is isolated towards the rest of my home. It's just this device, an access point, and the router, all connected via a switch, so I can mirror the packets. On the right, these are just the instructions that we're going to do. So firstly, what we're going to do is to mount the recovery partition on our robot vacuum cleaner here. We'll try to add some things to see if the persistence is a thing. So I'm going to add a new user with root permissions and just create a file as well to test that. We're going to factory restore the system after that, and then we should be able to log back into the system with that user, which would show that we have achieved persistence in modifying the recovery partition. This could be bad because you can add, viruses. You could patch your bin, bash, sh, whatever, to do something else, to install a backdoor, so on and so forth. So, for example, I might install like a VPN, like Zero Tier, which I showed last time about the persistence between reboots. And then you'd be able to gain access, continue access to any robot vacuum cleaner that you deploy. There is the drawback that if you do a firmware upgrade, as I have found out recently, that it no longer uses Ubuntu, or it might, but it's a very stripped down version because it uses a BusyBox installation instead. Anyhow, let's go over and start doing this. So just from research, I know it is partition 7. So let's just go ahead and make a temporary mount point just called recovery, for example, and we're going to do a mount MC block 0 partition 7 into that recovery partition there. So if we just look inside there, we can see that we've mounted our recovery partition. So we can install at least 200 megabytes of malicious data or just preset data. Let's go into our etc file and let's create that new user. So we'll use vimv and we'll change the password file. I'll copy this string here and we'll go and insert and paste like that. Oops, right quit. And we've added that there. So let's just double check it there into our password file. And we can see that we have a user without a password with the UID of 0, GUID of 0. No description because we don't care. Something else goes there, I don't remember. Root, and its login prompt is there. Let's also go and create a file. Let's just go touch. You know what? Let's go echo. Andrew was here into pwn. Cool. So now it's there. Let's go ahead and unmount the recovery. And so that should be good. Let's just remount it as well, just to see if it's still there. ls cat temp recovery pwn, and we can see it's still there. Okay, let's unmount recovery. All right, so now we'll go and factory reset the system. I am not fully capable of doing this efficiently. I did it once and then it like stopped working. But let me get a little paper clip. No, we don't want to use a paper clip though because it's a bit sharp. But get itself a little poking tool. And what we do is we hold the home button for a bit. We should be able to see also that this will stop pinging because the device is off. So I will go and do a factory reset. You should be able to hear the system also yell at us and say, hey, this is no longer working. I'm going to switch to my webcam, which I believe is this one. It's very dark and dimly lit, which is not a good thing. But, okay, we'll fix the alignments. That, and I'll just adjust you for today. So you should be able to see that. Okay, turn on some lights for that. And we'll hold this button and then press this reset here. Let's get some audio working. 2 2, check. There we go. And we will go and hold home for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna hold reset as well for about 5 seconds or so. Let go. And I'm gonna switch back now. About 5 minutes. Okay, so now it's restoring the factory settings. We can see that it no longer wants to reply to our ping, which makes sense. It takes a while. So if we look at the actual log of what it's doing, after the reboot here, we can see that it plays that recovery sound just now, and then it says recovery from recovery to system A. That is our, I think, partition 8, and it starts to copy the files. Sorry, well, do a block copy. Right, does all that. Eventually, it will now do a recovery from recovery to system B and fix up what I believe is partition MMC BOK0 P9. And there we go. It's now copying all of that. We can see that the reply, okay, these are timeouts, and these are like, okay, you no longer exist inside of our cache up cache. I think that's what it is. And then here on the side, I've got my phone. You can see it's offline now. It doesn't work. We'll wait for it to finish. You can see all of that is going on, blah, blah, blah. I don't actually need to mount this thing on this. I don't actually need to set up the device since I've got the serial access. But yeah, that's just for brevity. Now, if I try to log in as my account, we can see that I've gotten access. We still don't have the device restored. And let's look at Pwn, and we can see Andrew was here. So we can see that, you know, if you do recovery, I still always have access. Now, as we know that, you know, we can't actually SSH into it. Firstly, because this 8.1 is this published address. If we look inside of our networks, there it is there. So it's basically on its, you know, brand new initial state. We can pair the device. That can select our secure TM, and our password is password 123. Okay. It's transferring all that information. And we can see here, it has started to connect. We can also look here very quickly that we now have a 10.10.10 address, and it is now working. And we can see it's here. So essentially, you can see that I've been able to log into the device, you know, from a brand new state, just like that. And the only thing I change is, you know, adding a login entry to the password file. I mean, you're not meant to, I guess, so it's not really valid anyway. But we can see our UID. Oops, our ID is 0, so we are as root logging in via putting my ZID to show that, you know, we've achieved that persistence. So what I could do instead of having this Pwn file or having my account is, you know, modifying any of these bin files that get called, or even changing these files. So what we might do instead is we can change the resources, which I kind of would like to do. It's kind of, I can't type, but you could change the sounds so it doesn't play the right sound, and to that extent, yeah, it's pretty dangerous. But yeah, so that's pretty much how you can achieve that persistence via the factory reset, by mounting the recovery partition and then getting rid of whatever you want, I guess. Cool. All right.